course, in addition to all the economic challenges, the interest rate environment and so forth, there's so much going on in the world of technology and how banks actually deliver banking services. And I'm curious, what's your take on how to approach the technology challenge? Are there particular things that you're focusing on at your bank, or are there particular things that your customers are asking you for?
Well, I got to be frank with you that I really feel like we're behind the game in that, and we're not alone with other community banks. If I could snap my fingers, I would hire a community bank technology innovation officer and make that their supreme focus. To find the innovations, to find the enhancements that make sense for us, because there's hundreds out there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's probably dozens that can really help.
Yeah.
Which brings me to one of our guests at the bank holding company event coming up is BankTech Ventures, and as you may know, they've found a number of just excellent community bank vendors and new technology providers, and I'm always excited to hear who they talk about and what the trends are. And we, along with several other organizations, have investments in them also.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. They are one of our guests at the Fall Seminar. Fall Seminar is coming up October 2nd and 3rd. The theme of that event is M&A success strategies. So we're always excited about our seminars, and we hope that folks everywhere will consider coming out. And all of the details about that event are available on our website, which is www.thebhca.org. You have been a member of the BHCA for a number of years. Just tell us a little bit about what I like to call your BHCA journey.
Well, I think I first heard of it when I read the magazine, and all of a sudden I started coming to some seminars, and I was not as involved in our bank, although I was in the holding company. So it really became interesting to me several years ago, and it just kind of grew on me, and I kept, learning more and more, and gaining relationships with people I'd meet there, or people I knew that I would see there, and I met so many great high-achieving peers that I've networked with, and even people my senior, that I can learn from. I mean, I really appreciate those relationships too. I'm just a baby boomer, work in process like everybody else, but it's just been wonderful, the people I've met there.
And we talk about the networking really being one of the primary benefits of a BHCA membership. So I'm glad to hear you mention that and that you're making the most of that. Now, you've been to several of the BHCA seminars over the years. Just tell me, typically, what do you get out of the seminar? If someone hasn't been to one and they're thinking about maybe attending, what would you tell them that they're going to experience?
Well, I mean, several things. For instance, the caliber of professionals that you have there. I think you've always got people on the all-star team. I mean, this year you've got, investment banking emeritus Curtis Carpenter. You've got the regional champs, Oak Ridge Brain Trust. Those guys are brilliant too. There's always some great professionals and great guests to learn from, and you get a really good sense of what's going on out there in the marketplace in the world, and you also just get to pick their brains, because they've always got some new thoughts and some new insights.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned a couple of folks who are really nationwide leaders in the community bank M&A space. And our fall seminar is devoted to the topic of mergers and acquisitions. We're fortunate to have really top people out of the investment banking world, the accounting world, the legal world, law firms, really located right in the Midwest. So they participate in our seminars, and we can all benefit from their experience and knowledge. We have been doing a fall seminar devoted to M&A for a number of years now. Our spring seminar is generally more focused on broader ownership issues. But considering the fall seminar, even if you're not considering acquiring something or selling something, it's still a worthwhile seminar, I believe. I mean, I'm trusting that you think that as well. What would you say to someone who says, well, I'm not looking to buy or sell anything. Why should I go to the fall seminar?
The caliber of people you have, as well as the variety, and I want to compliment you, Tom, for making it fresh every year. there's always a slight variation of the theme. There's new guests, there's new insights. It's never the same as the year before. So that makes it interesting. So people that have been there before, it's always going to be new. There's always going to be something to pick up.
John, you mentioned the benefit of networking with your peers at our seminars, and we've always considered that to be one of the primary values of BHCA membership. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you another value I figured out is it's a time saver, because I can catch up with 5 or 10 or a dozen or more people that I would normally have lunch with. So I mean, this 2-day event is saving me 5 lunches or more with people that I would need to do to catch up. So it's a time saver. Can you believe it?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. We like to think of the events as being efficient,
Yeah.
so I'm glad to know that it adds to your own personal efficiency as
Right on,
well.
Jacob.
And it seems like among boardroom conversations, the value of the bank, the bank's position in the marketplace, those are perennial topics that I think at our seminar we kind of give you some information to think about those kinds of things.
Yep.
So yeah. Well, John, I do really appreciate you being here. I think we're going to wrap this up. Again, I encourage you to think about the BHCA Fall Seminar, October 2nd and 3rd. It's in the Westin Galleria Hotel in Edina. Great location, beautiful venue. You can see all of the agenda and program details on our website, which is www.thebhca.org. So we'll bring this to a close. John, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
And this has been another BankBeat Conversations with Tom Bengtson.